The views and opinions of the show host are not necessarily those of New Day Talk Radio. Listener's discretion is advised. Welcome. You're listening to New Day Talk Radio, where every day is a new day. You're listening to the G.I. Joe Radio Show with your hosts, Joe and Marilyn.
Welcome back to the New Day Talk Radio Show, G.I. Joe Radio Show. I like saying that, G.I. Joe Radio Show. Wow, today our topic's about
just bring it.
Just bring it.
Just bring it.
Wait, what does that mean when you say just bring it though?
Just do it, bring it.
Just do it, just bring it. I mean, some people are trying to figure out, what do you just bring? What do you just do? What do you just get out there and make happen? I mean, I like to hear that story. I mean, for those out there in radio land and all that, those who are listening in, I want you to tell me, what did that word mean? Just bring it. You know, when people tell you that, just bring it. Or let's do it. What does that mean to you? Call us on the G.I. Joe Radio Show. Hit us up at 310-715-6709. 310-715-6709. Or you can also call us on the other number, 213-984-1481. Again, that phone number is 213-984-1481. This past weekend, I guess you can say, I brought it.
Yes, you did.
I mean, I was impressed. I was like, wow. But then again, I put it out there for people to step up the game, come out and bring on the challenge. Hey, peer-to-peer run, summertime, we made it happen. People walked, run from Hermosa Beach to Manhattan Beach and back in the sand. People was taking pictures all down the ocean and all that, catching the moment and everything else, telling their stories, how they made it happen with their loved ones, especially others, friends, guests, and towns. I had people came from Vegas and said, hey, they just came here for the race. A couple of people from Canada.
Yes, they did.
They came here for the race because they heard about the race. They was either traveling by at the time. They wouldn't be here for that race. I was like, wow. I was like, I like that. I like to hear people come from all kind of places. I remember one time I had a lady come from Australia. I'm like, wow, way down under, huh? Mm-hmm. But they're coming from all kind of places. And it makes you feel good from something that used to be as a hobby. That's graduation at one time for students in boot camp. Turned out to be a community event. And wow, to see people come out and share the love and compete against each other, earn their bragging rights, and just bring it. Everybody to the table.
That was a wonderful day this past Saturday. Everyone had a ball.
Well, one, I want to give it up to all the sponsors, vendors, and everybody else who gave prizes, goodies, opportunity. All the people who came out to the walk run and made it happen at the same time. I want to give the thanks for you being out there, for you just bringing it. I want to give it out there and say thank you guys for making it happen. And let's see, can we multiply what we did this past weekend? And see, can we make it bigger? Can we make it better? Can we make it a whole nother world? So let's go out there and put it on Facebook. Let's put it on Twitter. Let's go out there and call another friend, loved one, a special other, co-worker. And, hey, let's bring it back again. Earn your bragging rights. November 10th, fall time. Peer-to-peer walk run. Let's get that secure. Make it happen again. Won't you get some battles going on? Get a little competition between your company and her company, his company, maybe Manhattan Beach, from Hermosa Beach, LA, Police Department, Parks and Recreations, wherever else is going on in that city. Let's bring it. I like what the Air Force Base did. Mm-hmm. They brought it. They had some couple. They had the captains versus the other league, the young guys, N-team, I think it was called. Okay. And they wanted to see who was going to bring it. And I guess the young team beat the officers and all. So, but officers but the officers brought it to the table. Yes. I mean, the officers brought in numbers. Mm-hmm. The young guys just brought in speed. So I say, okay, I had to give them props because they both represented. One had the game with the speed thing and all that, and they had the fastest times and all that, and there's about a few of them in there, and at the same time with the young generation. Mm-hmm. But the officers came back with support, and they had numbers that made a difference at the same time.
That's right.
So that's what I'm talking about. Bring it. So next time we're going to see, can we step it up a lot more? We're going to earn those bragging rights because, hey, they got their bragging rights going on right now. I got to make them up with little certificates, how they can brag about their rights and how they made it happen. One made it happen in numbers, one made it happen in speed. But they brought it to the table. I said, folks, bring it. Now, that's one gentleman I really have to talk about. I mean, this gentleman, he came to the race. He's probably one of the second, third, maybe. He's one of those early bird people, got to the race early and all that. Mm-hmm. So he does this quite a few times. And as a matter of fact, he does a 24-hour type of thing or type of run sometimes. He said, here someone's putting money on the table for this race. So he wanted to come out and participate. And this gentleman kind of ran. He wanted to find what the fastest time was. Okay. I remember a guy did that once before Daniel. He came up and asked me, what was the fastest time? And these guys who asked me what the fastest time, just like, they got this thing about, just bring it.
Exactly.
And they brought it. Daniel brought it back then. And he made the time 20 minutes and 42 seconds. Patrick came out and said, hey, Joe, who had the fastest time? And when I hear those words come out those individuals' mouth, it's like they got that rocky all over the chest. They got the head bobbing back and forth. Mm-hmm. They got the eye, look at the tiger. The voice of confidence. They said they wouldn't bring it.
That's right.
Patrick brought it that day. He came out there and made it happen. He ran peer-to-peer and back. He was throwing sand in people's face.
He sure was.
He was smoking them.
Yes.
But Patrick brought it that day. He came out there and made it happen, ran peer-to-peer and back. He did it in 19 minutes and 38 seconds.
Awesome.
He brought it. I was like, wow, that was a good show. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I had to give Patrick $100 in cash.
Now, that's a double awesome.
Patrick, hey, much prop to you. You brought it. Way to make it happen. Mm-hmm. Hey, you got your $100 in cash, and we got to make it happen again. Now we got to make you that number one guy that everybody else got now and try to come out and beat. Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Peer-to-peer run, November 10th, coming up again. We're going to put it out there. Earn your bragging rights. I'm going to try to see if I get another $100 sponsor again. Put it up there again. I'll let you know coming soon.
We need one for the men and the women.
Well, there is $100 for both.
Oh, wonderful.
Right now, Patrick just beat the men. Mm-hmm. Annie Seawright still holds the record for the women's.
Okay.
So if you can beat the women's, Annie Seawright's got the fastest time, 22 minutes and 40 seconds. I think it's 40 seconds. Okay. Beat Annie Seawright's time. She's looking to go ahead and retire. She said, hey, can anybody else bring it? Mm-hmm. I said, hey, folks, it was a great show. It was a great show. Aiza. Wow. We got to really talk about this now. Anyway, I guess we have our guest here today. First, I want to say good morning to Lady Marilyn.
Good morning, Joe.
I want to also give it up to the Inglewood PTA team because they did come out and represent. It was a little late, but they kind of worked out in all the right places because the early crew They was on time and all that. They took care of the morning shift. And then your team came in and took care of the late shift. And it all worked out to be a perfect thing in all right places and all right times. So I want to give props to the young guys. Thank you very much for making it happen.
Well, we definitely appreciate them, and they definitely appreciate you.
It looked like a lot of people was enjoying those goodies and all that too at the same time.
Yes, they were.
Okay. But it was great. It was great. It was a great moment. Now I want to give it up for, like I said, the Inglewood PTA team, who came out and made it happen. I also want to give it up to the Nazarene Church at the same time, or the Door of Hope. They brought their teams. They brought their volunteers also at the same time. They came out and helped out to make it happen. I want to give it up to Pastor Arthur McKins, who also had his team come out and contribute and make it happen. It was a great event this past weekend. It was an awesome event. I wish I could have videotaped the moment to tell our stories. It was great. Today we got a guest here. He goes by the name of the Billionaire PA. Well, welcome our guest today, Billionaire PA. How you doing today? Welcome to the G.I. Joe radio show.
Good morning.
Well, every day is a new day.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So that means we're about to speak more dreams into existence.
Absolutely.
We like when we usually bring people to our show, we like to always talk about the challenges that we've been through, the blessings that we made happen, the things that we're overcoming and making happen for the near future at the same time. I love to talk about some of the things. First of all, get a chance to understand a little bit about you, and then talk about some of your challenges.
Oh, absolutely. Well, currently, many people may know me as a motivational speaker. I go around the country, man, encouraging the youth to speak their dreams into existence and put actions behind their dreams. Some people may know us for the dream wall, where people come into my home and they put their dreams on the wall, because I like to surround myself around positivity, positive energy, and infect the world with motivation. Some people may know us for the new single that we got out called Too Much Faith, which is inspiring a lot of people. So I use all avenues that God allowed me to use. I don't care what kind of car it is, as long as it gets you to the destination of success. That's all that really matters.
All right.
Count your blessings.
So basically what I do is turn all my negative situations into a positive. If you turn a negative into a positive, I'd never believed that it was ever negative.
All right, then. Sound like you, Joe, huh?
Well, so, are you my brother or something? From another mother?
For example, I was broke for so long, so I wrote a quote that said, it's okay for your pockets to be broke. Just make sure your mind makes sense. As long as your mind makes sense, your pockets won't be broke. Or I wrote another, most people may know the other quote of, I fell in love with success, so I guess that means I cheated on failure. If you're going to cheat on something, cheat on failure, because they don't care nothing about you. So that was the type of stuff that I created to inspire people. I wrote 366 inspirational, motivational, and wealthy quotes to motivate people, to get them through the year. I added one more extra day of motivation, because the government tend to do what they want to. So in case they added you a day, I added you an extra day of motivation. So you got to stay ahead of your competition.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Bring it.
All right.
That's what the show is all about.
That's right.
Just bring it.
So it's all about, I just don't. The only word that's in my dictionary is execution. I had a lot of trials and tribulations coming up, as we all do. The only difference in my story and other people's stories is their story hadn't been told. And right now I'm just serving as a vessel and a voice for other people to get fulfill their dreams and, go after it. I would never in another day on this earth put my dream in another man or woman's hand when I control the route to success for myself. My God already told me I was going to be successful, so I'm not putting my dreams in nobody else's hand.
Are you preaching? He's preaching.
He said, bring it. That's all he's telling people, just bring it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And so, that's why trials and tribulations don't never really, it never bothers me, because, if God already told you that you was going to be successful, and, somebody asked me the other day, how do I deal with rejection when people still to this day, may throw the flyers down, may not read them, but it's like, if God already gave you the faith, why you let somebody else steal your hope?
There you go.
All right, then.
Claim your world, claim your time, and claim your places. Really is where you get done with. It's all about you.
Exactly. So it's a blessing, man, to be. We just finished doing this company came in and did a documentary right now. We waiting on it to, we speaking that into existence, that it get picked up, because I'm sure it will change everybody's lives that's involved with Wealthy Minds.
Right there.
So it was amazing, man. I'm only in my 20s, and they came in and they did a story on my life, and it was just a blessing, to be 20 years old, and it's like, how many people 20, got a documentary on their life? It's like, I'm just now living.
That's right.
But, it was just a blessing from God, to sit back and, now I see everything that I went through it was just, I just sit back and laugh at how God used me. You know, I went 20-some years with no faith, no belief, no nothing. Like, you couldn't even say God to me. You know, and it was all due to the negative situations. You know, the spending the 63 days in the car up north, and you know to see your mama, the doctor tell her that she would never walk again, or to see your dad in a coma, and to even try to, you know, attempt suicide. It's like, you know, now I see why my grandmama always said just be transparent, because when you're transparent, you get to find out who you are as a person. So when you step out into the public, you ain't trying to find yourself. So when I say what I'm saying, it's coming from my heart. So I'm not trying to retract what I'm saying. I already know the definition of the meaning of who I am.
Awesome. Oh, that's phenomenal. We need to let every youth,
let the whole world know about it.
Exactly.
Record all that information and everything else and try to put it out there for the world.
That's right.
I like that. I like that.
That's powerful.
So hopefully everybody that's listening to GI Radio, I hope y'all having a new day out there, man. Don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. Go out. First you got to speak your dream into existence. Then you got to put actions behind your dreams. And when your dreams come true, you must inspire other people to speak their dreams into existence. And I think that's what God really put us down here to do, to create. Never put us down here to fulfill, you know, other people's dreams. And there's nothing, I'm not telling everybody in the world to go out and get a job, because everybody, to create a job, because that's not cut out for everybody. You know, but some people, they are forcing themselves. Sometimes God will shut the door on you. Like, for example, 152 companies have rejected me because of a felony that I committed when I was in my early 20s. So I couldn't get a job, but because of where I was raised, they kept telling me, get a job, get a job, get a job. Well, excuse me, God told me that he didn't want me on no job because he had something bigger than me. But he kept closing that door, but I kept trying to open a door that didn't need to be closed until I found out. You know, when I created the quote, I don't look for jobs, I create them, it just changed my whole mentality. And sometimes we just raised in a broken environment, and you can't really I can't really blame my mom for raising me in that broken environment. She was only doing what she was taught. And she had a broke mentality. And you know, if when people say they broke, if you show me your 5 best friends, that's the reason why. I guarantee you, like, you can't, like, rich people don't hang with broke people. They just don't do that.
That's right.
You're right about
that. Say, like, you know, and to this day, I tell people all the time, like, when my first shirt came out, it was a damn a recession. I'm in a succession. The shirt sold over 5,000 shirts on the streets, and people see the success of it. But nobody, but a real businessman sees that everybody don't buy into what you do. So I took 50,000 no's on these streets, you know, people throwing the flyers down and stuff like that. But it was just a dream that I believe in. And it's like, you know, if I have to go back to that truck, ain't nothing going to stop this dream from coming true. You know, I'm going to execute it. And the only word that's in my dictionary is execution. Everything else, I don't even really pay them no attention, because at the end of the day, that's all people care about, is that you execute. They don't care about nothing else.
That's right.
Where to bring it? Where to bring it?
You said bring it, so we brought it.
Right.
You might need to change it to brought. You got to change it to past tense.
Okay.
Look at all that wisdom over there.
I mean, for a young gentleman, you know, he's bringing it to the table. He's making it happen. I applaud that, you know, because to see a young gentleman making that happen at the same time, and you know, we like to see a lot of that, especially with the younger generations of these days and all that. Somehow, it's like the younger generation is missing all that. And to try to get that message across, I mean, I love the way you putting it out there at the same time.
Yeah, you know, I really have, since I mentor a lot of kids, and to be honest with you, the younger generation that I deal with, I'm gonna speak for myself, they are a lot smarter than how I am, and I think it's really coming around to them that a lot of the things on how I was raised up as a child, which was to get a job. Like, I have yet to meet a lot of kids that say they want to get a job for somebody. They all in the mentality of the process of create anything. And that's what, and when you sit and you think about it and you look at a 7-year-old and you're like, I want to create. And I can see why a parent would be scared, because she never created nothing. So she not looking for him, you know, it's a little scary for my mom to tell me to go out and create something. But these kids, like, I work with an artist right now, like, named Lil Nico, and this little kid, I know he been on earth about 20 times before, because he talk better than some adults. He's 12 and he be talking about trials and tribulations. Now, what 12-year-old, you know, been through something, but who am I to say what he's been through? Because when I was 12, I was abused, but you know what? Nobody would listen.
Right.
And so now I think we spend so much time preaching to the kids that we don't do enough listening. Like, the kids ain't dumb.
That's right. You're right. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, so we have to start treating them like they dumb. It's like my mama spent so much time preaching that she didn't listen, and so now I like to tell people that if you're gonna, my grandma always told me if you're gonna, it's best for you to stand for something, and if you don't stand for nothing in life, it's best for you to sit down. And so that's how I created the name Billionaire PA. I wanted to stand for something, and the mission is to infect over 1 billion people with success, motivation, and wealth, and encourage them to develop wealthy minds. I think that's something good enough to stand up for.
I like that.
think that's something good enough to stand up for.
One of the times I'm out there putting on push-up challenges, we got a caller coming in. Hold up.
All right, caller.
Caller, what's your name? Welcome to the G.I. Joe radio show.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, hello. This is Adam James calling from the National College of Exercise Professionals.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing outstanding, Joe. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed to make it happen.
Fantastic, baby.
Welcome, caller.
Your radio show to talk about our upcoming personal training certification class, just a little less than 2 weeks away in South Bay in the Manhattan Beach area.
Okay. We'd like to come down and see about putting some blessings out there and have our Billionaire PA maybe come out there and bless on those guys before I make them all do a push-up.
That'd be terrific.
Yes, sir. Our topic today is about just bring it. What do you find that your company, your group of people do with these personal training sessions and all that now?
Well, what we do is we are a fitness industry education group, and we are a personal training certification company, and we've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years, over two decades. We've certified literally thousands of personal trainers across the country. And we specialize in a unique approach to personal training, often called functional training. We use the term athletic performance enhancement training. And this is perfect for boot camp people. Anybody who's interested in teaching boot camp, or is somebody who enjoys going to boot camps, or anybody who, of course, wants to work professionally in the fitness industry as a personal trainer or instructor. This is a great way for them to enhance their professional skills or get started for the first time.
So you kind of say you try to talk to like Joe Charles, G.I. Joe, to try to bring his boot camp over there and try to see can we partner up or do some type of things together, and then have other people work on franchising boot camp in many different ways now, or how you talk about this can work with your services.
Well, outstanding. Well, as you know, because we've spoken before, we're a big supporter of everything that you've done. We think the world of the efforts that you put in helping the community get fit, get going with you. One of the things that we'd love to do, of course, if anybody that you know who wants to become a boot camp instructor or personal trainer and wants to work with you, what they can do is they can get certified as a personal trainer through our organization, National College of Exercise Professionals, and then come and work with you, learning your system specifically, and then start to open up franchises under your banner. So this is just a great way for them to enhance their professional skills and add to their credentials, so that when they're out in the community and people say, well, what are your professional certifications as a boot camp instructor and a personal trainer, they'll be able to say, well, I'm with Joe Charles, one of the best in the world, and I've been certified through the National College of Exercise Professionals in regards to the science of the human body, physical movement, and all the other aspects of excellence in fitness.
Sounds good. We definitely have to see about more about what your service is coming up. You said 2 weeks. You got a show coming up.
Yes, our upcoming class is on June 23rd and 24th, and this is at our location, our studio in South Bay. It's located at 4551 Rosecrans Avenue, just east of the 405 freeway. So if you get off Rosecrans at the 405, you head a little east. It lands in the city of Hawthorne, right on the edge of El Segundo and Manhattan Beach. And our personal training certification class is normally $349, but what we're going to do for anybody who is affiliated with Joe Charles Boot Camp and the G.I. Joe Boot Camp, these people will get an additional $50 off, so the cost will be just $299. And I know also that what we're doing is we're giving you two $50 gift certificates to be used at your discretion. And so the winners of those $50 certificates will get, in addition to the $50 off and making only $299, they'll get it for just $249. So that's two people from your group who'll get it for just $249.
There you go, callers, listeners. Go check it out. This 2 weeks from now in Hawthorne.
And for anybody who wants to get more information about our upcoming class, they can call our office. The number is 310-430-3664. Again, that's 310-430-3664. Or they can check us out on the internet. Our website is ncepfitness.com.
All right, well, thank you very much. It looks like we got another caller coming in now at the same time. Let's put you on hold for 1 second then.
You got it, man. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Caller, welcome to the G.I. Joe Radio Show. What's your name? Caller going once. Caller going twice. 3 times. That caller's gone. All right, well, let's get back to our caller who's just on hold then.
Fantastic. Yes, again, this is Adam James. I'm the Vice President for the National College of Exercise Professionals, or NCEP, and we're really proud to be working with Joe Charles and the G.I. Joe Boot Camp there in Manhattan Beach. And again, we're going to be doing our upcoming personal training certification class on June 23rd and 24th. It's just a little less than 2 weeks away now. And the times for the class are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days. And what we do with people who take our class is the first day, we go through a very extensive classroom setting where we go through the details of anatomy, physiology, metabolic pathways. We discuss health history. We go through nutrition. We cover range of motion or stretching training. We discuss cardiovascular training and also resistance training. After the first day, when we start our second day of training at the certification class, we begin by going through a detailed practical application. And this is one of the things that makes us different from other personal training certifications out there. Most of them are online. And when you sign up, you just get a bunch of books or you watch a bunch of stuff on the internet. But we believe that fitness is a personal interaction, and you kind of need to do it to know it. So what we do is on the second day of our personal training certification classes, we actually get people out on the floor and you go through this very unique way of training, again, which is often called functional training. And we like to use the term athletic performance enhancement training. You learn how to get the human body to move with itself. It's body weight exercises, like what you do in a boot camp class.
Right.
It's so much better than sitting on a bunch of machines in a health club.
There you go. One day we're going to schedule a G.I. Joe radio show tour and all that. And, I got bad habits. I may come down and make everybody do push-ups, but hey.
Yeah.
We got to come check this out and see a little bit more what you're doing now. Maybe talk about this someday again, more on the G.I. Joe radio show.
Outstanding, Joe. Well, again, I want to just say thank you so much for having us on today. We really support you and everything that you do in the community. You do an amazing job of getting people fit through your passion, through your knowledge, and through your enthusiasm for fitness. And just want to wish you absolutely the best. And again, anybody who's interested in signing up for our upcoming personal training certification class and then start working with Joe as an instructor and a franchisee for his group, or you just want to learn how to, start moving your body and your life more, or start working at a health club in your community, go ahead and give us a call at 310-430-3664 about our upcoming personal training certification class, June 23rd and 24th in the Manhattan Beach area.
Now, Jay, just at the same time, make sure all those personal trainers who signing up, remember, I got crazy habits on 4th of July.
Yes.
One push-up, $1,000. Who wants to get paid? I tell them all, bring it. Just bring it.
Nice.
4th of July, I'll be out there giving away cash. We're down the beach, 9:15, right there in the traffic circle. And tell them, don't be late.
Fantastic. Well, have a great summer, everybody.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good luck to you, Joe. Thank you so much again for having us on.
Yes, sir.
Give us a call at NCEP or check us out at ncepfitness.com. Anybody has any questions about our upcoming personal training certification classes?
Well, thank you again, James. It's an honor having you on the G.I. Joe radio show.
Right on, Joe. Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, I just think if we were just caught up with that a little sooner, I could have gave someone an opportunity to get a free opportunity. I didn't think about that. A free class, or at least a free training, or a gift certificate, or something, a giveaway at that moment. We got to work that into the next show. Callers and everybody else giving away that little opportunity, so that way our listeners can check it out and see what they can take on. Someday I'll pass on the love or win the love and tell their stories.
That's right.
I like that. Well, back to the Billionaire PA. This brother, I like how he talks. And when he gets to talking, he's kind of like a locomotive.
Exactly.
But let's bring it back.
Exactly.
Billionaire PA. Let's talk about. We already talked about some of the challenges that you went through, and you're just kind of going over some of the blessings and everything else that you're making happen. Let's go reiterate some of those blessings you was going through at the same time. Then
some of the
blessings. I see some of them right here in the pictures and all that.
Man, I'm one of them people where I probably grew up a little too fast. So my mentality is probably a little bit older than what my age is on paper, but I just be thankful for just to wake up and just be able to help people speak their dreams into existence. My grandmama always told me, don't never be a millionaire by yourself, but help 10 people make $1 million and let them brag on you.
There you go.
So in other words, she was saying, don't never speak about your work, let your work speak for itself. Until your work have a voice of its own, then you ain't nobody.
Well, there's his words again. Just bring it.
And so that's what I wanted to create with Wealthy Minds. I wanted to, I've went against every obstacle that you can imagine on, of being a young African American from the South, and I've already succeeded. So that's what, a lot of people never succeed because they never define what success means to them. And until you can define what success means to you, then it's really hard to obtain. Look at somebody else and classify that as success to you, because that might not even be your definition of success. And, I like to wake up and, really breathe the fresh air, because we can't make no money without this air.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so a lot of people, and when you done, I've seen both of my parents lay up in the hospital and stuff like that. So, when you watch your dad, it's kind of like a catch-22. When I tell people my dad was in a coma for 3 months, I tell a lot of people, they were like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's like, don't be sorry, because for one, he didn't die, and I actually spent more time with him when he was in a coma than when he was walking.
Right.
So that was my opportunity to at least get to know him. So I say all of that to say, I just take every single moment as a blessing. So just to be here and be able to, have a platform for people to hear your voice and to be able to inspire people, I'm thankful for that.
I really love how you put it out there. You take all this negative energy around, you turn it around to be a positive thing that works for you. You
have to. To be honest with you, in my mind, I don't even think negative people exist, but maybe that's because I don't hang with them. Right. And so when you think like people like Robert Kiyosaki and people like Bill Gates, like those people don't even believe broke exists, and that's why they not broke. That's if you want me to be realistic about things, it's hard. Like, I don't live in an ideal world, so I can't. In my world, I am being realistic. And so when you don't allow those type of negative things to enter your brain, like the only reason you can be broke is somebody had to introduce it to you, just like somebody introduced you how to speak English. You don't speak English because you was born in America. You speak English because you was raised in an environment that spoke English. Had you had been dropped off in Mexico, you would be American speaking Spanish. Yeah. And so what if speaking English was an epic fail? So I look at success like that. I failed in my environment. I didn't fail within my heart. My environment failed me. And so because I was in that negative environment, the only thing, if you're in a negative environment, the only thing you're going to dish out is negativity. Wealthy people don't teach you how to be broke, and they don't teach you how to be rich. They teach you how to be wealthy. And so success to me is not easy, but it's simple. Whatever you want to be, you hang around it. And, you look every day, like police officers hang with who? Police officers. Drug dealers hang with drug dealers. Mm-hmm. Broke people hang with broke people. Right. So,
it's kind of true, because, old man make people do push-ups, hang out with push-up people.
Exactly. And so, we created something where, excuse me, we wanted to inspire people to just fulfill their dreams, man, keep their faith. And that's why I create a lot of these quotes I write quotes for everybody. I don't care I'm a type of person, I don't care what your race is, I don't care what your religious belief is. At the end of the day, the God that I serve, he created all people, and I think all people should be appreciated for who they are. I'm glad he didn't make everybody like me. It would be a messed up world. Right. I'm not, because I'm no better than anybody else, and my story isn't any better than anybody else. It's just another next man's story hadn't been told yet, and I'm out to find that next person. I made a lot of, when I was in that truck for 63 days, I made a lot of promises to people who was on those streets that I would come back and help, and I'm gonna go help them people because they just in a negative situation, but they have wealthy minds.
Right.
But we overlooking them people every day.
And somehow we need to inspire them to step up their game. Now, do you go out to schools and things like this here?
Oh man, we go. I go to any school. You know a school? We'll go today.
Granddaughter, you better watch out.
And wait a minute, Joe. He's talking like you. Oh, we don't need to wait. We can do it today.
Let's just bring it.
Exactly.
All you got to do is put the people in there.
Hey, to watch out what you talk about, because sometimes I got those bad habits. I like to go ahead and try and make those things happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, putting it out there like that, 4th of July is a crazy day for me and all that. There's about 7,000 people that's usually running around town that day in Redondo Beach. And then I'm supposed to be there. Give me some cash. One push-up, $1,000. I'm going to be waving the money in the air like I just don't care. I'm going to put the money across people's nose so they know it's real. It's damn real. There's going to be a lot of people out there. Maybe I can get the Billionaire PA to make appearance that day, too, at the same time. As I'm giving away money and all that, you be motivating people, blessing them and all that, and we are working as a team. Wow, just think of the magic we may create that day.
I know, right?
Hey, but it's an opportunity. If it's something that can be worked out and all that at the same time, I'm putting on the show that day. You're interested in coming down.
No, absolutely, man. All you got to do is speak it into existence. The dream could never come true if you never believe or speak it into existence.
And I think I'm speaking in existence at this point. I don't like to hesitate now on that. We just talked about procrastination last week.
That's right.
We don't want to wait. If we can put that opportunity out there, if we can make it happen now, I say shake on it, sign, seal, and deliver it.
Oh, absolutely.
I said just bring it. I said, let's make that happen, baby.
Oh, absolutely, man. Whatever you guys.
Right,
I'm gonna tell you, I don't even know if Marilyn know this, but Danny, the person that introduced me to you, I don't know if he told y'all a story, but I met when I had sold the 5,000 shirts. I sold all the shirts on the streets, and Danny was one of those people that I had met at the time. He came into my life, and I didn't know the difference in incorporation and LLCs and DBAs, and Danny was the person that helped me formulate, Wealthy Minds into becoming an incorporation and paying taxes. And see, that's just how broke, some people's minds are. It's like, I had no idea that, you had to incorporate no business. I couldn't. And as much as you might know that, there's a million kids that don't. Mm-hmm. And that's sad that you live in a day and age where kids don't know that.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm out here just in my mind with a business, but to the government, it don't even exist.
The biggest crazy part is about our life today. Everybody teaches how they go out and get a job, go to school, and then get a job. Wait. What are those initials? Get a job. Spells. J-O-B. Just over broke. Mm-hmm. So why are they teaching us to go get a job? Why don't they teach us to go out and bring out businesses to go ahead and involve the community with jobs?
Well, I always looked at money to me as a promissory note that acquires debt. And knowledge is a promissory note that acquires power. If you want some power, just steal an education. So when people talk, I listen. So there's no way you can be broke with power. Like for example, you know how much influence Martin Luther King had, but they never told you how much money was in his bank.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but if he had wanted to eat or he wanted to, get a nice car, somebody would have got it for him.
Yeah.
So it's not money that you want; it's the things that money can do for you.
Right.
Which is the power.
And what you can make happen around
exactly, which is positioning yourself to be around, influential people that can bless you with that education. And that's what I go back to, having people like Danny on your team. Like, I got friends to this day, man, that I could tell you the story, but it's more powerful when they tell you because they seen the process of it. They seen me come out of the car, no clothes, no shirts, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And they tell you the story. You think they talking about a man that's 40, 50 years old. This was just 4 years ago. Maybe 5, 6 years.
Yeah, people are real glad. If you look at the gentleman, he's a young man talking with a big mind.
Exactly.
And thank God that I met. One thing that changed my whole mentality is, of course, my grandmother and this dude named Maurice Moore, who was a real estate investor. And, he was so hard on me. But I found out that that's just the way business is. If you want to be somebody, and at the end of the day, like he told me that don't nobody care about nothing but execution. And if you don't like the price or something, just make more money. Stop complaining about what people put the price on their products. If you have a problem with it, then create your own.
Exactly.
It's like if you don't like my quotes, I hope I inspire you to write your own book. But don't judge me.
That's right.
Right.
This is my life. I can't write your life into my book.
That's
true.
And so the quotes that I write, you know, I tell people, you know, I take my quotes personal because they are, you know, personal from my personal life. So it's hard not to take that personal. You know, I was a person that wanted to go through. I dissected every piece of this whole entire world and turned everything negative. You hit me with any subject, and I got a quote for you.
There you
go. You know, I took disease and said I just tested positive with MTD, motivated transmitted disease. If you touch me, look at me, email me, or hate on me, I will infect you with motivation. And the fact that you're listening and looking at me, you infected with motivation.
I mean, this young man, hey, he turns things around faster than I do.
Oh man!
You give me. You know, they said we was in a recession. That's why I wrote, "Damn a recession. I'm in a succession." It's all about deactivating your brain from failure and reactivating your brain to success. And I don't. So the images that they be trying on the news and stuff like that, I don't even put that stuff into my brain. You know, I don't even allow it to because the more depressed you are, the broker you are.
That's right.
When you give you an income tax check, you happy and you save it. No, but don't wait. And so the moral of that is I don't wait on people to give me no income tax check. I go out here and I sell my shirts and my hoodies, and therefore every day is a payday. It don't matter if it's $1, 50 cents, $2. I created this, and the good thing about anybody who started a business, because a lot of people will come to me and ask me, you know, how did you start your business, and want you to consult them on their business. But the best thing about starting a business that keeps me going every day is I created this problem, and this is my problem, and I would love to fix my own problems than to be on somebody else's job making $25 an hour worrying about their problems.
That's
so
right.
I've created the tax problems. I created every problem in Wealthy Minds, and so I look at problems as problems don't bother me because I know how to solve them because I created them.
The opportunity to go ahead and overcome these challenges.
Exactly. And so, you know, when you start any business, like I will hope you want to go through something so you can appreciate it. And so that it don't bother me. You know, I like, I still to this day, I run out of gas just get a thrill out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might think I'm playing, but I'm serious. My friends will tell you, like, I like to just go through things because every time something in another person's eyes negative happens, the blessing sitting right there waiting on you.
Right.
You know, you end up walking to the store and meet the person that's gonna put the shirts in the store.
Mhm.
You know, so you just never know. God always got the right route for you, but you always think you got a better route. And
That's
so
right.
now I just take God's route.
Yep.
That's
Count your blessings as they go. Now He'll take you down the path where you need to go.
Thank you, Danny. I hope you're listening because you're always too busy. So shout out to you, Danny.
Oh,
big shout out to you.
It's a new day over here at where every day is. They're going to have to put me on the radio show over here, boy. We're going to speak a lot of dreams into existence over here at New Day Talk Radio.
There you go. I say keep bringing it.
I think he's speaking it in existence already.
I'm gonna have y'all a quote before the end of the day is over. I'm gonna give y'all a day quote and a night quote.
Is that are you listening?
Just bring it.
Just bring it.
Now,
awesome.
Your future goals. What's some of the future directions you like to try to accomplish or make it to, or where you like to maybe travel around the world or do something? What is it something that you like to do in the future?
Man, I just like to inspire people. I don't even care where it's at. It could be in this room. I like my heart. You know what I love the most? I love waking up every day with every opportunity to fail and lose everything, but knowing that my heart only beats for success. That's what I love to do. I'm a risk taker, man. And when you done been to the bottom and you done lost everything, it's like this is nothing to me. Because if I hit the bottom again, it's like the mentality. Like I could go back to the truck, and the price of the shirt still stays the same because I already set the value of what I created. And that's why a lot of people don't know their value. You know, it don't matter what you look like. It don't matter what type of car you got. It matters on who you are as a person in your heart. And that's what my grandma was teaching me all the while when I wasn't listening. You know, be transparent. Because the more transparent you are, you don't have to lie.
That's right.
You can just say, this is who I am, and you can accept it or you can't. And so what I love to do, when I go out and speak and people say, man, you really inspire me, you really motivate. It's not that. It's the passion that comes behind the message. When people see the passion and they, you know, when like I'm giving you them 63 days of that car, man. Like I'll let you live the moment with me. Like I'm not. It's a lot of people live in their car, but it's like how can you live in your car and speak about it and not be passionate about it if you made it out? Like I'm passionate about that. You know what I'm saying? Like people met me in that situation. You know, like my friend up in San Jose in the mall. Like I walk up to him. I'm in the mall, I walk up to him in his suit store, and I say, man, one day I'm going to get me one of them suits. And he look at me and he say, he just laugh and grin. And he said, man, where you from? And I said, man, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. And then he said, you know, come in here. I want you to meet somebody. And then this how I met my real estate investor. And he said this real estate investor walked up to his window 4 years before and said the same exact thing. And, you know, this dude, multi-millionaire. But that's how we met, just off of a conversation.
Right.
Now, I'm in San Jose, California. How many people do you think you possibly going to meet from the same city? And how many people you ever met from Alabama? Much less from the same city that you from. Like, it was a blessing for him to even know the dude that he introduced me to. Right. And that changed my whole life. But to me, that wasn't no coincidence. It was just time for God to expose me.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
And so, you know, just, you know, when you done been through, when you truly been through a lot in your life, like, you just take pride in the simplicity of things. I could sell one shirt today and I inspire one person, but the key is to inspire the right one person. Because if I inspire Oprah, she will inspire you.
That's right. So how are you charting your billion of people?
You know what? The number is honestly set so high because I think my grandmama would be so smiling right now when she hear this answer. She never wanted me to count the number of people that I help because it's called discrimination. And you shouldn't discriminate. And $1 billion to a person in the South, the number is so high that it's really unobtainable. So I really wanted to set a number that was so high that I don't even count the people. At the end of the day, my mission just here to help people. I don't care if you speak. You know, we all come from different walks of life, but that don't mean we can't all walk together.
That's right.
And so I want to walk with people. I don't want to count how many people that I'm truly helping. Yeah. I'm sure that it's in the millions. Yeah. But I feel like when you start counting your successes, you start getting an ego. Like I was telling a friend the other day, he was sitting there, he was counting his money, and I was like, you know, man, if you can count your money, you don't make enough. You don't, because some people make residual income come in every day.
That's right.
So how can you count it?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you keep that type of mentality, you stay working. You stay because you got to keep the cycle going. And so if I really was trying to help $1 billion, then I would just stop when I got to $1 billion. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I don't think
don't cap it off nowhere.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, Wealthy Minds is not a company that's going to come in and just make, you know, millions, but it's a brand that people will, you know us for. You know, when they hear Wealthy Minds, we infect people and encourage them to you know, have motivation and develop wealthy minds and speak their dreams into existence. And you can never have too much faith. And I don't look for jobs, I create them. And people can relate to that.
Right. You
know how many people out here struggling? Mm-hmm. You know, and the simplicity of a quote change some people's whole life. And some people will always be broke because their mentality is broke.
Mm-hmm. So how do we put you in front of the young people to inspire them and let them know that their future is right here?
Oh, this is what I need right now. This is what Wealthy Minds need. We need a team. If a team give me a platform, you put me in front of the kids, I'll do the work. But
one thing I like to do is I like to put it out there where people can get in contact with you. How does anyone want to get in contact with you? They like to catch up with you and get you out there on the show.
Oh, absolutely. You can go to wealthymindsclothing.com, wealthymindsclothing.com, or you can call my publicist. We are so down to earth. Her name is Dawn Agent. You can reach out to her, and she will help you speak your dream into existence. She's one of the sweetest ladies that I ever met in my life. But go to wealthymindsclothing.com, and, you know, I'm easy to reach. Facebook, if you're en route to success, follow me on Twitter at Billionaire PA. At the end of the day, man, I just want to, right now I'm putting together a Speak Dreams tour. And my mission is to go into as many colleges, elementary schools, high schools, whatever is on the list. Like, we're going to start with these historical black colleges, and we're going to expand. And I'm going to saturate the whole South with motivation with another one of my motivational partners. His name is Jim Hernandez. But, you know, it takes a team to succeed. You know, I'm only one person, and I can't do, you know, everything myself. And so, you know, if it take me 10 years to wait on the right people to come on board with me, then I'll wait those 10 years because, you know, Wealthy Minds is built with honesty and integrity. You know, and so you got to have the proper foundation. If you don't want your house to fall, it need to be built with the right bricks.
That's right.
You started giving a number out for Don and for all people to get in contact with at the same time. How do they get in contact with your publicist so that way they can catch up with you?
Don Agent. Hold on one second. I hope y'all wonderful customers are motivated because every transmitter that is going through this microphone is motivational. Don's number is area code 602-317-1797. That is my PR contact for Wealthy Minds. She will also give you 15 seconds to speak your wonderful dream into existence. That's what we do at Wealthy Minds. Stay positive, man. If you listen, don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. Keep your faith and never, ever give up on yourself.
Awesome.
I will say thank you very much for coming down, Billionaire PA. It's been an honor to have you down here on the G.I. Joe radio show. And remember, a positive mind is always about how you choose to make it happen.
I have been motivated. Thank you very much.
And if anything, just bring it. G.I. Joe Boot Camp. Is this damn thing on? The real deal, Joe Charles from the G.I. Joe Boot Camp, your exercise and fitness program on the beach. You can find G.I. Joe at mbbootcamp.com. You can also sign up for G.I. Joe yearly program and save $221 to benefit you. Again, folks, I did say save $221 into your savings. Also, check this out. The $1,000 push-up challenge. Don't miss out. mbbootcamp.com.
The G.I. Joe Radio Show presents the $1,000 Push-Up Challenge at the 4th of July 5K, 10K run event in Redondo Beach. It all goes down at the traffic circle Monday, July 4th at 9:15 a.m. Don't be late. Sign up now to receive prizes and goodies from the G.I. Joe Radio Show. You may even win free G.I. Joe class or 30-second radio commercials on the G.I. Joe Radio Show. What a great moment to be a sponsor at this event and be recognized by up to 7,000 people. For more information, please log on www.mbbootcamp.com or call Joe Charles at 310-836-9339. As G.I. Joe would say, we're waiting on you.
You've been listening to the G.I. Joe Radio Show with your hosts, Joe and Marilyn. Welcome. You're listening to New Day Talk Radio, where every day is a new day. The views and opinions of the show hosts are not necessarily those of New Day Talk Radio. Listener's discretion is advised. Welcome. You're listening to New Day Talk Radio, where every day is a new day. You're listening to the G.I. Joe Radio Show with your hosts, Joe and Marilyn.
Welcome back to the New Day Talk Radio Show, G.I. Joe Radio Show. I like saying that, G.I. Joe Radio Show. Wow, today our topic's about
just bring it.
Just bring it.
Just bring it.
Wait, what does that mean when you say just bring it though?
Just do it. Bring it.
Just do it. Just bring it. I mean, some people are trying to figure out what do you just bring. What do you just do? What do you just get out there and make happen? I mean, I like to hear that story. I mean, for those out there in radio land and all that, those who are listening in, I want you to tell me, what did that word mean? Just bring it. You know, when people tell you that, just bring it. Or let's do it. What does that mean to you? Call us on the G.I. Joe Radio Show. Hit us up at 310-715-6709. 310-715-6709. Or you can also call us on the other number, 213-984-1481. Again, that phone number is 984-1481. This past weekend, I guess you can say, I brought it.
Yes, you did.
I mean, I was impressed. I was like, wow. But then again, I put it out there for people to step up the game, come out and bring on the challenge. Hey, peer-to-peer run, summertime, we made it happen. People walked, run from Hermosa Beach to Manhattan Beach and back in the sand. People was taking pictures all down the ocean and all that, catching the moment and everything else, telling their stories, how they made it happen with their loved ones, especially others, friends, guests, and towns. I had people came from Vegas and said, hey, they just came here for the race. A couple of people from Canada.
Yes, they did.
They came here for the race because they heard about the race. They either traveling by at the time. They wouldn't be here for that race. I was like, wow. I was like, I like that. I like to hear people come from all kind of places. I remember one time I had a lady come from Australia. I'm like, wow, way down under, huh? Mm-hmm. But they're coming from all kind of places. And it makes you feel good from something that used to be as a hobby. That's graduation at one time for students in boot camp. Turned out to be a community event. And wow, to see people come out and share the love and compete against each other, earn their bragging rights, and just bring it. They brought it to the table.
That was a wonderful day this past Saturday. Everyone had a ball.
Well, I want to give it up to all the sponsors, vendors, and everybody else who gave prizes, goodies, opportunity. All the people who came out to the walk run and made it happen at the same time. I want to give the thanks for you being out there, for you just bringing it. I want to give it out there and say thank you guys for making it happen. And let's see, can we multiply what we did this past weekend? And see, can we make it bigger? Can we make it better? Can we make it a whole nother world? So let's go out there and put it on Facebook. Let's put it on Twitter. Let's go out there and call another friend, loved one, a special other, co-worker. And, hey, let's bring it back again. Earn your bragging rights. November 10th. Fall time, peer-to-peer walk run. Let's get out and see can we make it happen again. Won't you get some battles going on? Get a little competition between your company and her company, his company, maybe Manhattan Beach, from Hermosa Beach, LA, Police Department, Parks and Recreations, wherever else is going on in that city. Let's bring it. I like what the Air Force Base did. Mm-hmm. They brought it. They had they had the captains versus the other league. The young guys, in-team, I think it was called. Okay. And they wanted to see who's going to bring it. And I guess the young team beat the officers and all. So, but officers but the officers brought it to the table. Yes. I mean, the officers brought in numbers. Mm-hmm. The young guys just brought in speed. So I say, okay, I had to give them props because they both represented. One had the game with the speed thing and all that, and they had the fastest times and all that, and there's about a few of them in there, and at the same time with the young generation. Mm-hmm. But the officers came back with support, and they had numbers that made a difference at the same time.
That's right.
So that's what I'm talking about. Bring it. So next time we're going to see can we step it up a lot more. We're going to earn those bragging rights because, hey, they got their bragging rights going on right now. I got to make them up with little certificates, how they can brag about their rights and how they made it happen. One made it happen in numbers, one made it happen in speed. But they brought it to the table. I said, folks, bring it. Now, that's one gentleman I really have to talk about. I mean, this gentleman, he came to the race. He's probably one of the second, third, maybe. He's one of those early bird people, that got to the race early and all that. Mm-hmm. So he does this quite a few times. And as a matter of fact, he does a 24-hour type of thing or type of run sometimes. He said, here someone's putting money on the table for this race. So he wanted to come out and participate. And this gentleman kind of ran. He wanted to find what the fastest time was. Okay. I remember a guy did that once before Daniel. He came up and asked me, what was the fastest time? And these guys who asked me what the fastest time, just like, they got this thing about, just bring it.
Exactly.
And they brought it. Daniel brought it back then. And he made the time 20 minutes and 42 seconds. Patrick came out and said, hey, Joe, who had the fastest time? And when I hear those words come out those individuals' mouth, it's like they got that that rocky all over the chest. They got the head bobbing back and forth. They got the eye look at the tiger. The voice of confidence. They said they wouldn't bring it.
That's right.
Patrick brought it that day. He came out there and made it happen. He ran peer-to-peer and back. He was throwing sand in people's face.
He sure was.
He was smoking them.
Yes.
But Patrick brought it that day. He came out there and made it happen, ran peer-to-peer and back. He did it in 19 minutes and 38 seconds.
Awesome.
He brought it. I was like, wow, that was a good show. So, of course, they had to give Patrick $100 in cash.
Now, that's a double awesome.
Patrick, hey, much prop to you. You brought it. Way to make it happen. Hey, you got your $100 in cash, and we got to make it happen again. Now we got to make you that number one guy that everybody else got. Now try to come out and beat. Let's see what happens. Peer-to-peer run, November 10th, coming up again. We're going to put it out there. Earn your bragging rights. I'm going to try to see if I get another $100 sponsor again. Put it up there again. I'll let you know coming soon.
We need one for the men and the women.
Well, there is $100 for both.
Oh, wonderful.
Right now, Patrick just beat the men. Annie Seawright still holds the record for the women's.
Okay.
So if you can beat the women's, Annie Seawright's got the fastest time, 22 minutes and 40 seconds. I think it's 40 seconds.
Okay.
Beat Annie Seawright's time. She's looking to go ahead and retire. She said, hey, can anybody else bring it? I said, hey, folks, it was a great show. It was a great show. Aiza. Wow. We got to really talk about this now. Anyway, I guess we have our guest here today. First, I want to say good morning to Lady Marilyn.
Good morning, Joe.
I want to also give it up to the Inglewood PTA team. Because they did come out and represent. It was a little late, but they kind of worked out in all the right places. Because the early crew, they was on time and all that. They took care of the morning shift, and then your team came in and took care of the late shift, and it all worked out to be a perfect thing in all right places and all right times. So I want to give props to the young guys. Thank you very much for making it happen.
Well, we definitely appreciate them, and they definitely appreciate you.
It looked like a lot of people was enjoying those goodies and all that too at the same time.
Yes, they were.
Okay, but it was great. It was great. It was a great moment. Now I want to give it up for, like I said, the Inglewood PTA team, who came out and made it happen. I also want to give it up to the Nazarene Church at the same time, or the Door of Hope. They brought their teams. They brought their volunteers also at the same time. They came out and helped out to make it happen. I want to give it up to Pastor Arthur McKenzie, who also had his team come out and contribute and make it happen. It was a great event this past weekend. It was an awesome event. I wish I could have videotaped the moment to tell our stories.
That's
it was
right.
great. Today we got a guest here. He goes by the name of the Billionaire PA. Well, welcome our guest today, Billionaire PA. How you doing today? Welcome to the G.I. Joe radio show.
Good morning.
Well, every day is a new day.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So that means we're about to speak more dreams into existence.
Absolutely.
We like when we usually bring people to our show, and we like to always talk about the challenges that we've been through, the blessings that we made happen, the things that we're overcoming and making happen for the near future at the same time. I'd love to talk about some of the things. First of all, get a chance to understand a little bit about you, and then talk about some of your challenges.
Oh, absolutely. Well, currently, many people may know me as a motivational speaker. I go around the country, man, encouraging the youth to speak their dreams into existence and put actions behind their dreams. Some people may know us for the dream wall, where people come into my home and they put their dreams on the wall, because I like to surround myself around positivity, positive energy, and infect the world with motivation. Some people may know us for the new single that we got out called Too Much Faith, which is inspiring a lot of people. So I use all avenues that God allowed me to use. I don't care what kind of car it is, as long as it gets you to the destination of success. That's all that really matters.
All right.
Count your blessings.
So basically what I do is turn all my negative situations into a positive. If you turn a negative into a positive, I'd never believed that it was ever negative.
All right, then. Sound like you, Joe, huh?
Well, so, are you my brother or something? From another mother?
You know, for example, I was broke for so long, so I wrote a quote that says it's okay for your pockets to be broke. Just make sure your mind makes sense. As long as your mind makes sense, your pockets won't be broke. Or I wrote another, most people may know the other quote of, I fell in love with success, so I guess that means I cheated on failure. If you're going to cheat on something, cheat on failure because they don't care nothing about you. So that was the type of stuff that I created to inspire people. I wrote 366 inspirational, motivational, and wealthy quotes to motivate people, to get them through the year. I added one more extra day of motivation because the government tend to do what they want to. So in case they added you a day, I added you an extra day of motivation. So you got to stay ahead of your competition.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Bring it.
All right.
That's what the show is all about.
That's right.
Just bring it.
So it's all about, I just don't. The only word that's in my dictionary is execution. I had a lot of trials and tribulations coming up, as we all do. The only difference in my story and other people's stories is their story hadn't been told. And right now I'm just serving as a vessel and a voice for other people to get fulfill their dreams and, go after it. I would never in another day on this earth put my dream in another man or woman's hand when I control the route to success for myself. My God already told me I was going to be successful, so I'm not putting my dreams in nobody else's hand.
Are you preaching? He's preaching.
He said, bring it. That's all he's telling people, just bring it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And so, that's why trials and tribulations don't never really, it never bothers me because, if God already told you that you was going to be successful and, somebody asked me the other day, how do I deal with rejection when people still to this day, may throw the flyers down, may not read them, but it's like if God already gave you the faith, why you let somebody else steal your hope?
There you go.
All right, then.
Claim your world, claim your time, and claim your places. Really is where you get done with. It's all about you.
Exactly. So it's a blessing, man, to be. We just finished doing this company came in and did a documentary right now. We waiting on it to, we speaking that into existence that it get picked up because I'm sure it will change everybody's lives that's involved with Wealthy Minds.
Right there.
So, it was amazing, man. I'm only in my 20s and they came in and they did a story on my life and it was just a blessing, to be 20 years old and it's like, how many people 20, got a documentary on their life. It's like I'm just now living.
That's right.
But, it was just a blessing from God, to sit back and, now I see everything that I went through. It was I just sit back and laugh at how God